T1 build calculator. It sounds reasonable to me. Let's see, how are we going to go about doing that? I think probably our first step here is we're going to need to grab some sort of blueprint. So let's demonstrate with the mighty Atron. So we can either start from the Atron itself. Let's do that. Let's start from the Atron, and what we'll do. Okay, what are we gonna need? We're gonna need facility information. We're gonna need blueprint information. We're gonna need some materials, and we're gonna need number of runs and all that fun stuff. So, okay, let's instead of starting with the blueprint, let's start with the material efficiency bonus that we're gonna get. So if we open up the industry tab, and let's see, I think copy should be in Ariadne's, yeah. So if we look here on the manufacturing tab, we can see what we're going to build. We're going to see its output. We're going to see the duration and how that's affected by what various things are happening. We're going to see the cost to see what's happening there as well. And then we have our materials, and I believe these are already, the math here is already figured out for us. But also we can, oh, here we go. Blueprint material efficiency is 9%. Installed rig minus 4.2%, structure roll bonus minus 1%. So let's look at that. Let's can we? Yes, we can. Excellent. Okay, so we're gonna dig through here, and we're gonna make a bunch of tables. This is gonna be fun. All right, let's switch. Just gonna pause our music here because it's now starting to bother me, and I like the sound of my own voice. Let's see here. Okay, so I'm gonna start recording again. I've been streaming this whole time, but we're gonna get the recording going. So what we're gonna do now is we're going to go ahead and build a sort of T1 build calculator, and this is going to be interesting. We're going to get a little bit complex in here. So what we're going to do first, we're going to create a new sheet, and we're going to rename this sheet to be manufacturing, let's see, bits and bobs, etc. Manufacturing bonuses, let's say. And first thing we're going to need is a facility table. So we're going to say Citadel, or rather structure. We're going to need rigs. We're going to need, is there a bonus for what type of space you're in? Location, attributes, services, and what you need to build it. Okay. I think those are on the rigs. So we're gonna go deep on this. So we need structure type rigs. We're gonna say security, because at least for reprocessing, you know what? Let's do this whole row is going to be bold and centered. The rigs and at least for reprocessing, the security of the space matters to the bonus. I'm not entirely sure if that matters for manufacturing, but we're going to find out, and we're gonna go through all the show info boxes and hopefully see how everything is laid out there. Also going to show you how to dig through and find what we need. So this is gonna be interesting. This is gonna be in depth. So first of all, let's say security. We're gonna say high sec, low sec, null sec, and usually null sec slash wormhole space. And this is actually probably gonna be its own table. So we're gonna insert one to the left. Rigs, actually we're gonna do two, just because the rigs are gonna have some sort of bonus multiplier. Then we have our structure, and so we're gonna have, okay, what do we, let's cloak, okay, so here we go, structures, citadels, standard citadels, oh, those are just citadels. We want engineering complexes, so we have Raitarus, which are the medium, Asbels, which are the large, and Sotios, which are the extra large. So Raitaru, Asbel, and Sotio. It's not Soto, Sotio. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna make some of these named ranges, and we're gonna make them drop downs in another place. But for the meantime, we also want to have a look at structure modifications. We want engineering rigs. We look at resource processing rigs. Yeah, that's, yeah. Every processing monitor, 1 and 2. Oh, then we got the biochemical ones for this thing, and we got the large. Okay, so let's see. Okay, we're gonna ignore reprocessing for now. We're gonna look at, first of all, the medium rigs. Ooh, that's a lot of rigs, and they're all gonna be captured. They're all gonna be capturing different aspects of things. So I don't know if we want to take all of these into account. The large combines a bunch, and the XL should combine even more. So I don't particularly want to do all of the cases for all of the rigs, but what we can do is we can say, you know, okay, maybe you've got we got equipment consumable, manufacturing efficiency, ship manufacturing efficiency, structure component manufacturing efficiency. That's a faction rig. And then we got our Tech 2s. I'm just trying to figure out how to sort of simplify. Maybe if we work backwards from a blueprint. Let's see. So, okay, so we have blueprint material efficiency, installed rig, and structure roll bonus. Okay. You know what? Okay. You need the structure. Okay, let's just do that. We're gonna make a new sheet, and we're gonna say blueprint inputs, and so that's gonna be let's see, okay, blueprint, titanium, pyrite, Mexilon, Noxium, Oxygen, Megasite, Zydrine, and Morphite. And that is, those are going to be our inputs. So Atron, and we're just going to manually put these in but we want to put in the raw data for an Atron with 0 MATE. So we're going to say, okay, 32,000 titanium, 6,000 pyrite, Mexilon is 2,500, and Isogen is 500. Okay, so that's what we need to build an Atron. Then we're going to need, let's put a few rows above this. So we can just fill this out with more ships and blueprints later. So we're going to call this column, we're going to rename this to be blueprint. And I'm going to hold off on naming anything else for now. Then we're going to want a input, which is we're going to want to do a, what's it called, a drop down. And the criteria is going to be a, reject the input if it's no good. Apply to range C2, yeah, criteria. Drop down from a range is what we want. And the range is going to be blueprint. Okay, what do we call it? Oh, we called it blueprint. Let's rename it blueprints. Blueprints. You don't like that, okay? Let's see, data, and it was a data validation. Apply to drop down from a range, and we're going to say blueprints. There we go. These, yeah. Unfortunately, we're getting our header in here, but that is okay. Wonder if there's a way we can potentially remove them. But we got our input. We're going to say Atron as our input. And that'll be the start of things. We're also going to, or rather, that's not an input, that's output. You know what? Actually, let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of this header, and we'll move you over one. We're going to say output. We're going to say facility. Oh, actually, maybe that's a better way to do it. Let's see. Clear formatting. We're going to say facility, And then we're going to calculate the facility for that. So we're going to say this will be the ME bonus and this will be the TE bonus. Facility name. So I'm just specking out sort of where things are going to live on this portion of the page. So we're going to have output. We're going to have the total of each for what we want. Oh, we're going to need a quantity. Let's see, clear this formatting to, there we go. A quantity is 1. And you know what, let's make this, we'll highlight this in green. That's kind of close to the Atron chiclet. These will just be numbers that we can see what the METE bonus is going to be. We're going to pull that from the other sheet. Facility name will be a similar drop-down with different facilities. Okay, that seems like a good start. And oh, you know what? Let's do our final outputs, or our, maybe not outputs, but requirements or inputs, required inputs. And we're just going to copy this and whoop. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, there's, I believe, a thing we can format the cells, we can center our text. Where is it? View? No. Cells. No. Chart image, function, link, format, rotate. Ah, there we go. Merge cells, merge horizontally. There we go. So now we got a nice little table header on that, and what we're gonna do here is we're gonna want to index into this table in order to get what we want. So actually, let's grab another spreadsheet here, or sorry, another spreadsheet. Let's grab another blueprint. Let's see, what's something else that people like to build? Typhoon. I don't have any Typhoon. Blueprints. Let's say a Naga. Pretty sure I have a Naga. Did I lend my Naga blueprint out? Okay. What else do we have? Thrasher? Is that going to be more interesting? No. War structure stuff. I mean, it is T1, but it is a little... Okay, you know what? Let's go with Cyclops. Or Cyclops 1. Cool. So actually, you know what? I'm gonna copy material information. I'm gonna make a new sheet. We're just gonna call this Scratchpad, and I'm just gonna paste the mineral mineral requirements. And what I'm gonna do is gonna use this function called transpose. And what it does is it swaps the columns and rows in the table. So you can see we have all of our inputs is in one column, and the required amount is in the row or in the column next to it. So I'm just going to transpose B4 to C10, and that's going to give me what I want here. It's backwards though, so can we like invert it somehow. Can't see the spreadsheet. Okay, thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, so I pasted it into this sheet here, and we're taking this and we just want to transpose it, but it's backwards here. So I feel like there's some sort of function reverse. No, invert. That's a bunch of math stuff that we don't want. Yeah, paste it upside down. You know what? Actually, let's make a filter table, and we're just gonna sort Z to A on required amount, and that's gonna put everything in order because Eve is nice and it takes you know, proportional amounts. So we're just gonna copy this in, and then we're gonna go back to our sheet 6. You know what? Let's rename this to T1 build, and we're just gonna paste values. Remember, right-click, paste special values only. And this was what ship was this? This was the Cyclops. Cyclops 1. Did I even spell that right? No E at the end. Okay. Cyclops 1. Okay, so there we go. And you know what? Let's go ahead and format these as a number, but I don't need decimal places, so that's cool. Yeah, okay, so we wanna calculate how many of whatever it is we're building to be to come out in this row, so that we have a total number of what we want. We're taking the I grabbed my copy with ME and TE on it already, so we're going to just gonna go in here. Whoop. Just gonna go back into the description. So I grabbed this 1020 copy, so I'm just going to look at the information. We're going to go to industry, we're going to grab a blueprint. Now it's 0, 0, and now these are the values that I want. I wonder if I copy these, how this was going to look. So we're going to go back to the scratch pad here, we're just going to paste it here, and ugh, that's gross. Okay, so we're just going to do our standard substitute. And we're going, actually, you know what, instead of substitute, we're going to split this. And we're going to split this, what's the order? Help, please, question mark. Okay, so we're going to split B3, or B13, on the delimiter space X space, and I think we can leave the rest blank. Okay, cool. That is what we want. It's just wonky because, oh, it doesn't like the space X space. It's just saying X. Okay, so let's go back in, split by each. We only want to split once, right? And so let's try that. Nope. Okay, what does split by each do? Whether or not to divide text around each character contained in delimiter. Let's learn more. Optional. Oh, true by default. Okay, so let's try false. Aha. Okay, that's better. And so before, okay, actually let's take this. So we're doing this split. Now we're gonna do the same. Actually, we're just gonna do this equals transpose, and we're going to take this range, and that's good looking. We're also, I'm just doing this sort of randomly in line. We're going to substitute this cell, we're going to search for space, we're going to replace with nothing, and then we're going to fill it out along that way, and we're going to copy. Then we're going to go back to our T1 build, we're going to paste in new values, Control-Shift-V to paste in values. It doesn't like that, because I think it still thinks that it's a string. Can we just, yeah, okay, we can just number. We can just reformat this this range here, format number, and get rid of the decimal places. Cool. All right, so this is now good. We have our Atron, we have our Cyclops, we can switch between them. Now we want to fill out these fields. And to start, you know what, let's just go simple for now. Let's go, well, first we're gonna have to do a lookup. So let's take this range. Actually, you know what? I think we can just do the columns. This might come back to bite us later. And we're going to call this, you know what? Actually, I don't like this all being on the same page, or on the same sheet. So let's create a new sheet. We're going to call this sheet Blueprints. And we're going to take our T1 build, we're going to cut this, going to move over to Blueprints, paste it in here, and we're going to call this range Blueprints. Oh, okay, that's jumping out. So let's, because we're changing that, we're going to manage this named range, we're going to edit Blueprints, and we're going to delete it. So then we can go to our new blueprints, we can add range, and we're going to call it blueprints. So we're done there, that's cool. Now we can come back in here, and what we want to do, we need to re-edit our cell here, because we're doing a data validation, and we're doing D2, drop down from a range, and the range is blueprints. Oh, that's no, that's not what we want. Okay, so we want we're gonna make the name of the range here. So we're gonna undo. We're going to create a named range here. We're going to say blueprint name. I think if we're doing ships and stuff here, we should be okay. Just for funsies, we're going to add a column and we're going to say output. And we get 1 per run for each of these. So we'll just put that there. Might not come up today, but we'll get to that if it does. So now we can say data validation. We're going to say drop down from a range. We're going to say blueprint name. Selected cells cannot intersect. Apply to range. Oh. Wait, what? Oh, apply to range D2. And blueprint name. There we go. All right. So we're done here. Let's see. We're going to call this cell to build. This is our Atron output, or Cyclops output, depending. We're going to have our quantity here, and we're going to say QTY to build. And okay, let's start here. So we're going to say, how much titanium do we need? So in order to figure that out, we're going to have to, you know what, let's, I'm going to just pop this open, and we're going to throw that on the left side of the screen, or the right side of the screen here. And we'll do our work here on this other tab. So T1 build, and then on the right we can see what's happening here. So The first thing that we want to do is we want to extract this row from the table on the right. So this is our what's it called, blueprint sheet. We want to get this data for this row that matches Atron. So we want to match this D2 cell here with our drop down Atron, and we want to grab this row. So in order to do that, we're going to use, you can use like VLOOKUP or HLOOKUP, or I think XLOOKUP is a thing now, but we're not going to use those because they're slower. And instead, we're going to use two functions called index and match. And I'm going to show them sort of individually and sort of how they work, and then we're going to combine them to get the data that we want. So this is a little bit wonky, and I'm just gonna show you down here. So we're gonna do I think we want to match first. So match, let's see what it does. Returns the relative position of an item in a range that matches the specified value. So we want to match Sunday from a range, and search type is going to be sorted or not sorted. And right now we're sorted, but if you add more blueprints here later, they might not be sorted. So we're gonna say not sorted, and that's probably gonna slow things down a little bit. So you may want to keep this alphabetized. But we're gonna search for we want to build, and we're searching in the range blueprint names, and search type is 0 because, well, yeah, it's 0 right now because we exact range when values are unsorted. So we want 0 because we're going to assume that that list is going to get unsorted. If you want to keep it sorted, you can change the 0 to a 1. So we're going to hit enter, and we get the number 3. And so why did we get the number 3? You can see on the right here, the Atron is in row 3, and that's because we called this entire range here all the way over to K here in the Morphite. We called this whole range blueprints, and so what it's looking for, you can only see the left browser. Okay, great. All right. Well, let's go ahead and combine these then. There. Okay, so we're just looking at the blueprints spreadsheet. So we called this whole B to K range. We called it blueprints, as we can see in the top left here in this name box. So what index is looking for, or sorry, what match is looking for, it's looking for to build, which is Atron, and it's looking from blueprint name. So that we called blueprint name, this whole column is called blueprint name. So we're gonna look down through blueprint name until we find Atron, and we're gonna get an ID of what row it's in. Match also works horizontally, and we're gonna use that later when we try to find tritanium. And we'll get that from our blueprints list, I believe. Yeah. So you know what? Just for interest's sake, let's see what happens instead of saying blueprint name. What happens if we say blueprints? And that's an NA, because this match function, it only supports a row or a single row or a single column. So we can't do, because blueprints it's a two-dimensional thing. It's rows and columns. It won't let us use match on that. So we just want blueprint name, and that gives us 3. So now what we can do is we can use index, And what index does is it gets you the content of a cell specified by row and column offset. So using that match, we get the row offset, and then we want to also figure out a column offset. So let's see what we get here. So we say index, and we want the reference. So the array of cells to be offset into, so that's going to be blueprints. And then we want to get the row, which is going to be that first match. And then we want to get the column. So let's just say for fun, we're going to say 4 for now. So that's 6,000. So if we go here, we go, so blueprints is from B to K. So if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, is the fourth column is the 6,000. And that's what we get. So we get in row 3, which is this guy here, and column 4, it's the value 6,000, and that's the amount of pyrite needed for an atron. So now we can combine these, and we're just going to copy this match, and we're going to go in here, we're going to replace this C11, we're going to say match to build blueprint name unsorted, and we get the same value. So now we can replace 4 instead of to build blueprint name. We can say pyrite, or sorry, rather, oh gosh, too many undos. So rather than 4, we can say match, and instead of to build, we want to say pyrite. And this is case sensitive, by the way. And then for blueprint name, we can't use blueprint name. We can't use blueprints because it's a 2-dimensional one. So I'm just going to leave that there for now. And we're going to go back to our blueprints, and we're going to say, we're going to call this row, we're going to give it a define named range, and we're going to call it blueprint input. And I realize output is one of the options there, but we're still just going to call this name blueprint input. So if we go back to our T1 build sheet, we can now change, we can say pyrite, and we can say blueprint input. And so we're trying to find pyrite in blueprint input, and that's going to give us the column. But we're getting 2,500 instead of 6,000 like we're expecting. So what's happening here? Oh, I see what's happening here. What's happening here is that when we defined blueprint input, we called it this entire row is blueprint input, but we're indexing into blueprints, and blueprints is only defined from B to K. So that means because blueprint name, or sorry, because blueprint inputs has this A column, the index is off. So we're reading one further in. So what I'm going to do to fix that is we're just going to delete this A column. And now if we go back to T1 build, we're seeing the correct 6,000. So now that we figured that out, we can move this up, and instead of saying, instead of typing out pyrite like that, we're going to give this row a name, and we're going to call it required inputs. And now we can rename pyrite to be required inputs. And why didn't it like that? Did not find a value in match evaluation. Required inputs, blueprint. Did I spell it differently? I did not. Okay, so let's debug this a bit. Let's break this out, and we're gonna paste you here. So we're gonna say, yeah, we got this match. I'm gonna say equals to start evaluating. It's 4. That's correct. So is it this 2 build that you don't like? Match 2 build blueprint name 0. That seems right. We got 3. So we're going into 2 build, and blueprint name is 3, and it's 1, 2, 3 is Atron. So that's right. So we're getting row 3. And column 4, which 1, 2, 3, 4 for Pyrite is correct. Did not find value in match evaluation. So why do you not like this? Why do you not like this, Sheets? And then, let's say we go index, and we say references blueprints, and we want row 3 and column 4. And you work. Why do you work? But you don't work. You're the same. 2 build blueprint name 0, and the column is match required inputs blueprint input 0. Match required inputs blueprint input 0. Okay, that's not cool, man. Okay, well, let's try this then. Let's swap you for this other referenced cell instead. And that works fine. Oh, maybe you can't have 2 match functions in the same equation? That doesn't make much sense. Okay, I think we want row though. So you know what? Let's just add a new column as a workaround. We're going to call this blueprint row. And we're going to give it a name as blueprint row. Blueprint row. And we're going to make this equals match 2 build blueprint name 0. Oh, I guess that's just going to be this. Well, we only want the 1 row here, so yeah, that's fine. We can just leave that there for now. Clean that up. We'll say this is going to be blueprint row, and then instead of D9, we're going to put this match, and we're going to say required inputs, and we're gonna check that against what do we call it? What was this row called? Blueprint inputs. Okay. Blueprint input. Okay, let's break it down again. Okay, so we have 2 build blueprint name, so it's looking for Atron. Then we have then we want to look up pyrite or tritanium. So let's say equals match, and we're gonna say required inputs, and we're gonna search the, oh, I forgot the 0, didn't I? Okay, search the range blueprint inputs, and it's not sorted, so we have a 0. There we go. Okay. Yes, that math works. So now we want to say index, and we're going to say blueprint row. Whoop. First we want to index into blueprints, and the row is going to be blueprint row. And then the column is going to be this match value for the titanium. And it's NA again. What is happening? Did not find value, empty string in, oh, so it's not understanding required inputs? Is that what it's saying? Okay. Well, I don't much care for this then. Instead, we're going to say, instead of required inputs, we're kind of breaking our best practices here, but we're just going to say, instead of required inputs, we're going to say ABC6, and that'll work for us. So it seems as though this is broken for some reason. So if we swap blueprint row, this was to build and blueprint name, build and blueprint name, then this works all of a sudden. Okay, so I guess weirdly the match wasn't liking the named row here for required input. But now if we can delete this column because we don't need that anymore. Now we can fill this across and get our required values. And we want to format this as a number. And just whole numbers, please. And you are numbers. Why are you centered? That's odd. Okay. You guys we want centered. And that'll be fine for now. So now we can see we're pulling up this. And if we swap out Atron to Cyclops, we have different numbers, which is great. So now the problem is that we're only doing this for one run of the blueprint. So we're going to want to take this index and we're going to want to multiply it by, what do we call this cell? We called it quantity to build. So times QTY to build. And that's going to remain the same because, you know, we don't have anything, or we're only running one. But if we hit 2, now it updates. 5, 10. Great, this is getting us all of the stuff we need. So now the next step is to apply our bonuses. So let's we're going to add a row here, and we're going to say blueprint, and let's see, blueprint, or wait, we'll just say ME. ME, TE, and so we'll say TE 0 and ME 0. And we'll go ahead and make these guys green so that we know that it's an input field that we are going to want to edit. And so we'll say TE is, let's see, maxes out at 20, ME maxes out at 10, but these are percentages. So we're going to format these as a percentage. There we go. And of course it thinks that it's 1,000 and not 10 and 20 as we expected. So now let's go back into our titanium, say quantity to build. We're going to multiply that. Oop, first of all, let's name our cells. And so we're going to say blueprint ME and blueprint TE. TE we're not going to multiply into what we have here, but we are going to multiply the blueprint ME into it. And so if we have just one, Cyclops is, oh, this is incorrect. We don't want We don't want to multiply by 10%. We want to multiply by 1 minus 10%. Because we only want to remove 10%. We don't want the 10% that was removed. So fill that out. And there we go. So now the ME is applied. So if we say 0, it's 515. If we say 10, it's 463. If we wanted to, we can make this a, we can do data validation on this. And we can say add a rule that blueprint ME, let's see, value is greater than or equal to 0. We can just show a warning, that's fine. And that, oh, it doesn't like the named range there. All right. Okay, fine, we'll do it your way, Sheets. So value greater than or equal to 0. And we add another rule, and we'll say value is less than or equal to 0.1 for 10%. And we'll say OK. There we go. Now if we try to put in 20, we get this invalid. Must be less than or equal to 0.1. So that is 10. And if we say 0, 0 is fine, but like negative 10, okay, negative 10 it likes. Oh, we need to, okay, we didn't add the rule. So we say D3 is greater than or equal to 0. Done. Oh, we can only have, what? We can only have one. Maybe there's a range option. Date is between, oh, is between, there we go, 0 and 10, well, 0.1. There, so there we go, now negative 10, it's erroring out, so we can say 10, we can say 0, and that's perfect. And I won't bother modifying the TE one as well, but that's, okay, so that's happening now. We've got our ME, we've got our quantity all being multiplied into what our final result is going to be. The one bit that gets a bit whack if we come in here and we show more decimal places is sometimes that 10% is going to give you fractions and decimals and stuff like that. Luckily it doesn't appear to be right now, but once we figure out the facility bonuses, that is going to start breaking stuff down, and so we're going to have to do some rounding and stuff like that here. So let's see. Okay, we've got our blueprints here. We want to start working on this manufacturing bonuses thing now. So let's have a look. You know what? Let's say these rigs, we're going to say ME T1 ME T2 ME because that's what we're most interested in right now. The bonuses should be all the same, but how they get calculated is kind of interesting. So if we take the XL, well, yeah, okay, let's investigate. So let's just take ship manufacturing efficiency. We're gonna have show info on this. Let's see, provides a mean for structure operation, decrease both material and time efficiency for ships in upwell structures, a variety of service modules. Note only one rig of the same type. Okay, attributes. Let's look at attributes. Max number of modules, 1. Cool. Material reduction bonus is 2%. And then there's a null sec, low sec, high sec multiplier. Okay, so just like reprocessing, that is a thing. And there's also a time reduction bonus. So I believe this is the same. I'm just going to put this off to the side here. And if we look at the medium structures, we want... So it's all split up between advanced large ship, medium ship, small ship manufacturing. So let's just take medium ship as an example. Medium ship as an example, and if we shift click, we get a second window that we can kind of compare. And yeah, the material reduction bonus is 2%, and the multipliers are all the same. The XL rig combines the time rig, so that's to be expected to be missing here in the material efficiency. Oh, that's the medium even. So if we look at the large as well, LSET, basic large ship manufacturer, basic medium ship manufacturing. So if we click that, all of them zip over. Okay, so there's the large, medium, and extra large. And yeah, they all provide the same bonuses. So we can say that the T1 multiplier is 0.2. So that's, or sorry, 0.02. 0.02 is 2%. But then there is a security multiplier, and high sec it is 1. Low sec, oh, I've just been in the game and poking around for a while, and nobody saw any of that. Yeah, so looking at these modules, we're just looking at the ship manufacturing efficiency, I believe. Let's actually double check that. Oh, that's not it. I was looking at the market. So if we look at component manufacturing instead, I'm just going to look at the XL because all the bonuses seem to be the same. If we look at the stand-up XL equipment and consumable, if we show info there, it is a 2% reduction bonus, and all the multipliers are the same. Again, the XL provides the 20% bonus. So that was ship. Structure and component is 2%, 1, 1.9, 2.1. So these are all the same. All these bonuses are the same. So that's great. Going to go back here. So high sec is 1. Low sec is a 1.9%, 1.9 times multiplier, and null sec and wormhole is a 2.1 times multiplier. Let's have a look at the Tech 2 rigs now. Let's see, variations, stand up Tech 2, and go back to attributes. So Tech 2 has a 2.4%, so 0.024. And then the multipliers are all the same. The time bonus, you know what? TE bonus, ME bonus. The time bonus for the Tech 2 is 24%, so 0.24. And the Tech 1 is a 20%, so 0.2. Cool. If you want, you can format these as a percentage. That's cool. We can do the same thing here. But I don't think we're ever really going to be looking at them in this sort of fashion. So the structure, however, also I believe provides a bonus. So let's go ahead and look that up. Structures, engineering complex. So let's see. Retaru is the smallest. We get a 1% reduction in material requirements for manufacturing jobs, 15% reduction in science jobs, and 3% ISK requirements, 25% engineering service fuel modules. Okay, so Asbel is also a 1% ME bonus, and so TO is also 1% ME bonus. So let's see, let's just split these guys up a little bit. So ME multiplier, or ME bonus is 0.01, 0.01, 0.01. But the TE bonus is, going to be different between them. So let's see, Rectaru is a 30% bonus. Or, no, that's a Sotillo. Sotillo is a 30% bonus. Asbel is 20%, and Rectaru is 15%. There's also a ISK requirement change. And fuel consumption, rate of fire, capacitor. All right. Cool. Let's we might not get to it today, but let's do a costing bonus as well. So price or install bonus. Let's call it. So TO has a 5%. 0.05. Asbel is a 0.04. And Raitaru is a 0.03. Cool. All right. I think that is the info that we need to get started here. So now we will, yeah, okay, let's do this. We'll build a table of our structures. So structure, say name, we'll say type, we'll say rig 1 and rig 2. And actually, you know what? We got where it's parked also. Okay. And so Ariadnes, we're going to say this is going to be a drop down from a range, and the range is going to be this table of security. Nope, don't want that. So we just want security, but we don't want nullsec wormhole. We advanced. Show warning, reject input, chip arrow plain text. Okay. All right, we can't do that. So let's change the range so that it's just the values. And you know, we could do a named range here, but I expect that we're never really gonna revisit this website or this sheet unless it's to add new structures. You know what? It's a better practice if we do it. So let's go ahead and name this range security. Security multiplier. We'll say rig multiplier. And we'll say structure multiplier. So now when we say this, we're going to say, oh, we still want to say it's only in this range. That's kind of unfortunate for this, but that's fine. We're just going to do that. So then we say type. And this is going to be a drop down from range. The range is that. Rig 1 is drop down from range. T1ME, T2ME. Oh. There we go. Done. Oh, whoops. structure. Okay. Done. Now add a rule for this one. Drop down from range, ME. T1 ME. Rig 2, we're going to add the same. Okay, and then we already have security space covered. Cool. So, Ariadne's is a CTO, and I believe it's a T1 ME, and, oh, I guess we can just delete the ME portion of this and just say T1, T2. T1 and T1. And cool. So that will give us, should give us what we need. And now we just need to do a bunch of indexing and matching and go into it from there. So let's go back to our T1 build. We're going to set facility name, and this is going to be a drop down from a range, and the range is going to be manufacturing bonuses, and we'll just say it's that range there, which right now only contains Ariadne's, which is cool. That's Ariadne's, and now we need to calculate the MET and cost bonus. So let's name this cell, and we'll call this structure name. Ooh, no. Let's not name this cell just yet. Let's name this MFG bonus section. And how do we go about indexing into this? Let's call this whole thing structure config. And that's okay. We're going to get rid of the space in this rig 2, type, and go from there. So, let's see. We have Ariadne's, and we're going to try to figure out the ME bonus for Ariadne. And just going to do that here first. We're going to say, let's see, there's a base 100%, and then we want to multiply by all of our bonuses in order to get it. So equals 1 minus, let's do the structure ME bonus first. And so that'll be, we want to index into structure multiplier, and we want the row that matches we want a row, we want to search for D9 in the range of, match search key is D9, which is Sotio, in the range of structure multiplier. And it's not sorted. Is that correct to get the row? Let's pull this out and have a look. Okay, let's equals. Okay, let's build it up slowly. Match D9 range structure multiplier. Search type 0. Was not found. Why? Because it must be a single row or column. Okay. So let's go ahead and make this column. We're going to give it the name structure type. And now we'll be able to match structure type. There we go. 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, because it's a SOTIO. Then we want to get the bonus for it. So we want to get the ME bonus. And we'll want to match, yes, we'll want to match the, no, we have the row, we want the column now. So actually, because we know what column we want, we can just hard code that in. So we can do index, and we say reference is structure multiplier. We have the row, which is 4, and then we have the column, which is going to be 2, because we know that we want the ME bonus. So we can just say that. And that gives us our first bonus, which is 2. So let's move this match into our equation here instead of H9. So that gives us the ME bonus, which is good. Then we want to multiply this. We want to multiply this, and I'm just gonna okay, Shift Enter, Control Enter. Okay, so Control Enter will let you do new lines on the function window here, or the function equation editor thingy. So we want to multiply, and then we want to do the same thing. So we want to do let's name our rig, not data validation. We want to name rigs to be a rig name, and we'll say security name as well. Spell security right. And so now we can say, okay, multiply, Control Enter for new lines in here. And so we're going to say index into rig multiplier, match E9 and rig name, not sorted. And we want the ME bonus, which is going to be index 2, once again. And that should give us what we want. Oh, I think what we want is a 1 minus around all of these. 1 minus. There we go, 97.02%. That sounds more reasonable. So then we'll multiply again with 1 minus index, and this time we're going to say security multiplier, and we're going to match C9 with security name. And it's unsorted, and we're going to index number 2 because we know that that is the multiplier value in column 2 of that, and that is a negative number for some reason. Oh, this multiplier probably shouldn't be a percentage. Actually, let's remove that formatting. So why are you doing that to me? Oh, because it's a multiplier. It's not another thing. Because when doing -1 security, yeah. Yeah, because 1 minus 1 is a 0, and that's not good. So 2.034%, does that seem right? Yeah, structure multiplier, rig multiplier for the ME bonus. This multiplier this multiplier applies to the rig though, and not the structure. So we want to wrap these in parens, although it's multiplying, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, so now we have this one, and we're just going to copy and paste this here because we can potentially have a second rig for, say, time. So we're going to say ME multiplier. Actually, does that make sense? No, we're only ever going to have one rig for ME. So let's actually we'll just delete that. We don't need this. Get rid of conditional formatting. Or data validation. Get rid of that. E9 and F9. Just E9, thank you. Cool. Okay, so now we've got this. I believe, so that's our ME calculation. Let's figure out what our TE calculation is now. And we're just basically, we're going to do the same thing, except we're going to, let's see, clean this up a little bit. Structure multiplier, instead of going into index 2, we're going to go to index 3 for the rigs, and the security multiplier stays the same. So does that, why is default? Thank you. Okay. TE is T bonus 0, 3, 1, 2, 3. .176 is the multiplier on the time? That doesn't make sense to me. Okay, well, we can come back to that. TE is often less of a thing that you want to worry about. We're trying to figure out how many materials you need. So let's go back to our T1 build page. And we're going to say our ME bonus. We're going to index into, we're going to have to expand our range actually first on this guy. What's this? What do we call it? Structure config. And we're just going to modify, so we're going to define named range, structure config. We're going to edit it, and we're going to say instead of F20, it goes to G20. Done. Cool. Okay, so now, if we go to our T1 build, we can index structure config. And we want the row, so we want to match Ariadne's. Match. Search right now, we'll just leave it as D4. And we want the range to match as structure name. And we haven't defined the structure name yet, but also that's not... Am I missing? Oh, I have extra. Okay. So yeah, that name isn't defined, so we're gonna go ahead and make this first column structure name. I wonder if there's a different function that we can use that'll slice up a 2D range. Slice range. Content of a cell. Row. Ooh. No, column number of a specified cell. Number of columns in a specified array or range. No, that's not exactly what we want. Alright, to Google. Let's see. What do we want to Google? Okay. Google Sheets. Get column from 2D array. 2D table, 2D list, 2D array. Let's go with that. We extract a column from 2D array in Google Script. Okay, not Google Script. Maybe not 2D array. Maybe named range. Named range array. Extract one column from a named range. Okay. Average index named range 1, 0, 2. Specifying 0 as the row means the entire column. Okay. That's good to know. So that means that we can, if we go to our sheet here, instead of structure name, we can say match search key, or sorry, index. Right? That's what it said. Yeah, index. And we're going to index into structure config. Row 0 means all rows, and column 1 means the first column, which is our names. And that's Ariadne's. Nullsec wormhole, so TO. Okay, so yeah, so there we go. We got, oh. That's not what I was expecting. Okay, let's go back. Structure names. We named that, right? We didn't name that. Okay, let's no, it is, yeah. Structure, oh, structure name, singular. Okay, so we want that, and then we want to get, want to match, this time it's just a string, it's, bonus, ME bonus, just ME, I forget what we wrote there, in the range, searching for ME in the range, structure, trying to find the column, structure config, 0. No, that's not right. So match D4 structure name. That's getting the row, which is Ariadne's. D4 to structure name. Okay, then we're wanting to match the ME. So we're trying to find column ME in structure config header, I guess we'll call it. So name this range structure config header. You still don't like that unknown name range. Did I spell structure name wrong? Unknown name, range name, structure name. Okay, let's break that out. It's 2. That's fine. 2 and 5. Structure config. Structure config should be like this, yeah. Structure config. Why don't you like me? We want 2, 5 in structure config. And we go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the ME. That's exactly what we want. Why you no like? Okay, let's do comma bloop. Now it's an error. Formula parse error. Oh. E5 F5. That's 2, but we want it as that. And honestly, more decimal places is better. Okay, so why don't you like this? D4, ME. Okay. Let's rename this facility name. And then we can change you to facility name. Okay, that's fine. And then why don't you like match ME structure config header? You like it now all of a sudden. Okay. Fine. Fine. Okay, so now we have facility ME, and we'll call this one facility T. And we'll just copy this, and instead of ME over here, we're going to say TE, and then we're going to add more decimal places. Okay, cool. So that's looking good. Now we need to add our multiplier to this, so we say times 1 minus, and we call that facility ME, and that's negative because it's 2. So I think that's actually a multiplier is facility ME and not the a bonus. So there we go. So now we're starting to get more decimal places in our number of units required. And so we're gonna fix that by rounding up, and you can round up by using ceil or ceiling. Ceiling, so it always rounds up to the highest decimal place. So or the highest whole number. You can also set it up so that it rounds to a factor. So if we say 2, then you see we've rounded to 2 decimal places. Oh, we gotta fill that over, I guess. Let's look at that. Factor number whose multiples values will be rounded. Say 2, we say 1. Yeah, okay. It was isogen was really wonky, I believe. No. Oh, right. Point 2. No, 0.02. There we go. Yeah, so you can set how many decimal places you want. Just yeah, 001, and that'll get you going. But we want whole numbers, so we can just leave that that last value off, and we will get the whole number value. We can hide these decimal places, and now we have the required inputs for a Cyclops. 10 for 10 Cyclopses multiplied in at a 10 ME. So let's go back to the game and see if that's correct. So 10 ME Cyclops times 10 runs. Does that look correct? 4,395 or 4,395,927 tritanium. No. Okay, I got 9 million. So what's up with that? $4,395,000. Cyclops. 10 runs. Yeah, outcome times 10. Am I missing something? What could I be missing? I'm just going to copy material information here and drop it into the spreadsheet so that we can all look at the same thing. Okay, so that's what we expect. So why aren't we seeing that? Is this facility ME value broken? Let's see. Let's have a look. Installed rig should take 4.2% off. Blueprint efficiency should take 10% off, and structure roll bonus is 1%. So, if we go back to our manufacturing bonus here, 2.03 does not match up with the 4.2% that we were expecting. So I think actually we didn't want to subtract by 1 in these cases, but that number is very wrong to me. Oh, perhaps 1 minus all of this? No, that's still very wrong. Let's see. Okay, let's spread this out just for a hot second and get different different stuff going on here. So if we say 0.01 ME bonus for the structure. And then for the rig, oh, I think we want to add these together, not multiply them together. I think that's what's up. So the rig we multiply with the security space to get the additional bonus. So let's 0.042, 4.2%. Yes, okay. So the rig bonus is 4.2%. Just going to double check that. Yeah, rig bonus 4.2%. Perfect. ME bonus is 10% for the blueprint, and structure bonus has a 1% bonus. So it is these two added together is what we were looking for. So we multiply the rig bonus by the security multiplier to get that, and then we add. Okay, then we add the structure bonus to it. And that's how we get 5.2% as our ME bonus. So we're gonna do the same here, except we're gonna go index into the third column, except for the security modifier. We want to keep that as 2. So is that correct? Is the rig multiplier for TE is 20% times 2.1 plus the structure bonus, which is 30%. So 30% plus, is it 20%? Okay, cool. I think that's right. So 5.2% bonus and a 7.2%. All right, let's go back to our stuff here. Cyclops run 10 is 10 ME. So instead of 1 minus blueprint ME, we also want 1 minus facility ME. And that looks much more correct. So 43939. Oh, I've just been showing off the game again and not the spreadsheet. My mistake. So let's see, 4393980, and we got 4395927. So our calculations are off somewhere here because requirement is below what is actually required in the game. So some of our math is off somewhere. Five, 2. Oh, okay. Let's, okay. I think what we want to do is we want to take this off. And then we're going to add it in during our other calculations. So we're going to take that 4.2%, and then that's fine, and then we're going to add it here. So we're going to say times 1 minus 0.1. That's breaking things. So that's probably because we're doing it in a different thing. So METE and structure structure bonus. So just for funsies, let's just say 0.01. And we will times 1 minus, that's G4, 395,927. There we go. There's the number that we want. So because they're okay, so they're three different amounts. We have the blueprint, we have the blueprint ME, we have the facility ME, and then we also have the structure ME, and then we also have the rig ME. Those all multiply in separately. So if we take this, so equals 1 minus this times 1 minus this, and that's wrong because parentheses, there we go, 0.94848. So if I'm just going to quickly paste value here just to check it out, and get rid of this, and we'll get rid of the 1 minus on the facility ME because that's already factored in. 395,927. Okay, cool. So that is correct. We're going to delete that, and we will copy that down, and then we will we'll use this equation instead. Shoot, I've lost it. Okay, so it's all this to calculate the ME, and we're going to change these back to 2, 2. We don't want that. We want to multiply 1 minus 1 minus. There we go, 9482. Cool. That is the number that we're looking for. And then the TE, let's just go ahead and do the same thing. So 1 minus that, and times 1 minus all of this. Cool. So there we go. So that's a much more agreeable number to me. 40% time reduction and 0.948 or 94% total time. So now, yeah, if we fill this out, there we go. 9389636, 18779, 8536 megasite for Zydrine. Oh, hang on, what's up here? These numbers are reversed. Why are those numbers reversed? Wait, what are we building here? Are we building? We're building a Cyclops. Blueprints. It needs more Zydrine than Megasite? Really? Cyclops, Zydrine. No, that's wrong. I must have made a mistake when I was copying stuff in. So Tech 1. Oh, just Zydrine is listed before Megasite, so when I copied stuff over, it's incorrect. So Megasite's 1250. 1250, and Zydrine is 1000. Okay, so that's what it was. These are listed in a different order than what I was expecting. Okay, cool. So just switch these two values around, and now we're looking a lot better. That's perfect. Cool. So there we go. So now we can go around and we can change. We can look at our Atron. 10 runs of Atron will cost you this much. We have our facility. It's only Ariadne's right now. That's fine. We got facility ME. We got facility TE. Let's take a quick break. Let's do another 10 minutes here. And then when we come back, we'll finish this up. We'll add the ME value, and we'll add the install cost as well. And then I think we'll call this a session because we've been going for several hours at this point. So yeah, we'll wrap up after that.